Again.
Hello, everyone. This is Group Elections. During this presentation, we will cover team introduction, industry overview, research questions, challenges and opportunities, primary analysis, and limitations. Our team members are Himali, Shriram, Jake, Kirti, Smriti, and Kasif. Our focus is on the executive branch of the government, or the ruler of the White House. It is interesting to mention that 2020 elections did have a total cost of $14.4 billion. And there are quite a few players in this game, starting with political campaigns, media coverage, voter engagement, and election technology. While the focus is on the United States, the outcomes of these elections have significant global implications, such as foreign policy, trade relations, and international cooperations are all influenced by the results, making the US presidential elections a matter of global interest and importance. And now on to Shriram to dig into the research questions.
Yeah, moving on to the research questions. We had several research questions and we narrowed down to these three questions. Now, is Biden's age a concern? Does demographics makes a difference? And are gun policies and crimes related? In next slide, I will explain you why these are really important. So, moving on to why Biden's age is a concern. In today's world, people need to understand how a president's health is important, or like how it affects the decision making and all that. So people are generally curious about it. And the demographics, probably in the future, a different we can, if we actually learn about different demographics from the past data set, we can actually kind of predict how the future demographics can be useful, and then make some policy changes and stuff. And gun policies and crimes. Now we can see that there had been different gun policies in the past, and using those data sets we can see which policies has been effective and which had not been. And yeah, moving on to next slide.
Yeah, for the challenges for election prediction is collecting data, which is the process of obtaining and processing the data needed for analysis and modeling of the election. Collecting data is challenging as it requires reaching a large and diverse samples of voters across different religions, demographics, and preferences, as well as ensuring the quality and validity of the data. Collecting data can also be costly, time consuming, and resource insensitive as it involves listening and conducting surveys, scraping and cleaning data from online sources, or acquiring and analyzing data from third party providers. The in favor effect can make predictions more difficult as it reduces the impact of other factors such as policies, events, or opinions on voter preferences and behaviors. The in favor effect can also vary depend on level of analysis such as nationality, state, or district, and the type of election. The another challenge is bias. For election prediction, to avoid or correct from biased data, models, or predictions, which can result from various sources such as sampling errors, measurement errors, or human errors. Biased data, models, or predictions can distort true prediction of the election and lead to inaccurate or misleading estimates of voters' preferences and outcomes. The final one is a further challenge for election prediction is to deal with insufficient exposure in politics, which is lack of information, interest, or engagement of some voters in political issues, candidates, or parties. Insufficient exposure in politics can make predictions more difficult as it can increase the uncertainty and variability of voters' preference and behaviors. Moving on to the opportunities.
Thank you. So, one key opportunity we identified is the strategic targeting based on demographic insights like education, ethnicity, and like gender. So, this can define our campaign efforts and everything. So, next is the policy development that aligns with the public opinion, which by leveraging the data from our graph that we built, we can develop the policies that can maybe address the concerns and priorities for the priorities. And third one is the collaboration potential. This one has a significant opportunity So by partnering with various stakeholders, policymakers, and like community organizations, we can amplify the impact of the findings of our project, and this can be really helpful. So moving on to Himali.
Okay, so I'll be covering the primary analysis. So as a group, we did some of the analysis, we built some of the graphs. So we built few of the graphs. That is, one is the ethnic group and the age group. So here you can see the blue line is for the Democratic candidate and the red line is for the Republican candidate. And you can even see the years in the y-axis and their popularity in the x-axis. So we have compared that both. Also, we plotted few of the correlation heat map, considering the Biden's age versus their approval age, as that is our research questions. And we also took a dig into the Biden's take on the gun policies and the crime rates. So this is two of the heat maps that we have done as our primary analysis, and we'll be taking this on a further stake while working as a group. So I'll be handing over to Kasif now.
Thank you. So finally, the limitations of the study. Uh, there are certain limitations. We'll talk about few. Uh, the first is evolution of issues. So so sentiments may change anytime in political environment or because of a new because new issues may emerge anytime. Uh, Other is influence of external factors like economic conditions, global events, or crises may impact our political sentiments, and that can also influence next elections. And next could be unpredictable political events, like if government may introduce like new bills, or if there is any change in political leader, health of political leaders, or any unforeseen political situation can shift the changes, can shift all the sentiments and influence the upcoming elections. So those are the limitations, and that's the end of presentation. Thank you.